So this is going to arguably be the most surreal video that I'm going to be making for the channel, considering that it's not a big production, it's not a review, it's not a comparison, it's something that goes against my usual tagline at the end of every video. I mostly end every video by saying stay humble, because I feel like that's something that I personally just feel the need to hold on to, because I've seen so many downward spirals happen on the internet because of lack of humility, lack of being humble, that I always told myself I needed to keep that regardless of how much money I have, what position I'm in, etc. I guess you could say that if there was one day where I can at least take a break from being humble, would arguably be my birthday. And I frankly just feel the need to ask for one real thing. Something that I've after listening to like some podcasts, some education videos recently, I felt motivated enough to at least try to ask, take a shot. Wayne Gretzky, miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. But and this is that shot, which is going to kind of ask for some simple things, and that is going to be founded from the desire that I would very much like to go full time with YouTube, because I genuinely love doing this. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't have come back to it no matter how many times I felt the need to quit or give up on it since 2007. 2007 was literally when I started making videos by dumping mini DV footage into my compact Presario and using Windows Movie Maker to splice up that footage in a very, very slow and tedious way, to the point where whenever you dump footage from a mini DV tape camera like that, you have to like watch it and let it play as it dumps it into the computer. You have to wait however long it took to film. It's not a quick SD card dump like it is these days. And after all these years of training and teaching myself new editing formats, techniques, software, cameras, lighting, sound, mics, etc., nothing has really shaken my resolve. Ever so often I still get the occasional comment that somebody drops on this channel saying, "Yo, you're still making videos?" And the answer is yes, regardless of how many other jobs I've had, full time or part time, in the retail industry, in the uh, assistant industry, in the office industry, in the, of course, food industry, as far as fast food, etc. This is the one thing that I always feel kind of at zen with myself, at peace with myself. And I would very, very much love to go full time with it. Now, of course, because I desire it doesn't necessarily mean that it'll happen. I recognize that. So while this is all going on and it's still being treated as a side gig, I'm still pursuing endeavors that will sustain me full time, as far as finding me and my girlfriend's own place to live, finding a stable income so that we can eat, we can sleep somewhere, we can have our own, lifestyle, while at the same time on the side, I can kind of cultivate this to a point where maybe I could not necessarily abandon all that, but just kind of start to less prioritize having a full time job that is not this channel. And then this channel then becomes the full time gig. And of course, that's the thing that we all kind of desire. And that's just something that I wanted to put out there in a video and say that I would very much love to go full time running this channel, Dark Spider David, where I get to, for a living, talk about Batman and Spider-Man figures. And I recognize, I'm self-aware that simply just me asking for it is not going to make it true. But like I said, I want to take that shot and at least try to go to sleep recognizing that I took that shot. Whether or not it pans out, we shall see. But I wanted to at least make the attempt. And what I ask of any of you who are watching this right now, taking the time to catch this on my birthday, is just a couple of things. The least that could be done and the most simplest thing that and easiest thing that you can do is, of course, keep watching the channel. That is it. Whether it be this video, any other reviews that I do, any retrospectives that I do, any comparisons, video opinions. Recently, I did the in-art video and that popped off. But then on the other side of the spectrum with that, I had the Bruce Wayne and Ace video, and that didn't do very well. But I'm saying that in a way where I just want to gather information, gather as much data as possible, and that is through views and engagement. I look at the analytics, I look at the comments, And even though I'm now at a point with the channel where I can't necessarily respond to every single comment, and I'm again self aware of that, I'm still trying to absorb as much information and data as possible. And that's gathered through, like I said, views, through clicks, through comments. So, like I said, the thing that you can definitely do and still supports the channel is simply to just watch, uh, and just watch. Either watch it when you're having breakfast, watch it when you're trying to go to sleep, because that's normally my routine of how I kind of consume content on YouTube. If it's a short video, watch it while you're waiting for someone. If it's a very lengthy video, which I have a tendency to do, that kind of creeps up around the 30-minute mark, then add it to your watch for later. And like I said, watch it while you're cooking breakfast, or listen to it while you're cooking breakfast, or watch it while you're eating said breakfast, lunch, while you're trying to go to sleep. Like I said, I watch some lengthy documentaries that are like 2 hours long, but I watch them 30 minutes at a time through the course of like 3 nights, because I'm trying to lull it to sleep. So different kind of outlets. It works for everybody, but just watch, and then engage. Post a comment, good or bad, criticism, praise, any kind of feedback whatsoever, anything that's in between. All right, because I consider anything in between to be substantial as far as information. And I know that there's some folks that I think at the top of the list is the length. And trust me, there's some videos where even when they're super long, like 25 to 30 minutes, trust me, they were even longer. And there's some chunks where even I have to like pull myself back and be like, okay, I'm just rambling at this point. Let me cut this out, because this has nothing to do with literally the figure that I'm talking about. That's actually after I cut those segments out. So it still ends up being kind of a little bit on the lengthy side, but that's because that's where I also want to go full time with this, is because I try to keep a mentality of making videos that I would want to see myself. What kind of video have I not seen tackling this specific figure? Because anybody in this day and age can prop up their phone on a tripod and be like, hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be taking a look. Like, I hate that. I hate that the camera is just in one place. They grab the figure, turn it around, and be like, there's the back, there's the front, and there's the arm. It could twist this way, it could take this way, but the camera's still in the same frame. We're in a point in time where we have software on our phones like CapCut or whatever, cut to a close-up, cut to a pan, go the extra mile. And that's what I thought of myself, like, okay, if nobody else is making cuts like these, as far as like the pans and the dollies and the tilts and the closes with the macro lens and the focus pulls, then let me do it. Because there's some channels out there that for years now have been doing the same thing. And again, why are you welcoming me back? This is my first time seeing a video, and every intro is the same. That's why I try to do a different intro for every single video. And that's where the inspiration of my videos kind of comes from. It's like, what kind of videos do I want to see that I have yet to see on YouTube, with these cuts, with these close-ups, with these transitions, etc. And even though it means the extra work, even though it means not only having a lengthier video, but also taking just as long, if not even longer, to produce, because that's why sometimes you'll have one video a week. Recently, I've had a little bit of flexibility where I've kind of caught up on some videos to be able to produce 2 videos a week, but that's why there is that amount of gap in between videos, is because I take my time with the editing process to make sure that each one is a production, so that when it does end up being 30 minutes, it's worth that 30 minutes. It's that value proposition. Just like I talk about McFarlane Toys with their value proposition with the price and what's included in the box, I try to adapt that exact same thing to each of my videos. Okay? And being able to go full time with that would be a dream come true, because I already love it. It's that good kind of stress where I'm like, yeah, it's stressful, but man, when I see that finished product, that serotonin just kind of just flows right through me. Unlike any other 9-to-5 job that has to do with retail, that has to do with fast food. Sure, it's gonna put an abundance of money, but I can tell you right now, I'm gonna be driving home miserably. So, in an effort to take those first steps to hopefully go full time, like I said, watch, engage with a comment, engage with a thumbs up button, engage with the thumbs down button. It's still engagement, regardless of which comment it is, which button you press. And then if you feel the need to do so, share. I wouldn't really necessarily blame you if you don't share the video, because I know that very seldom do people share videos these days in a very natural sort of way on YouTube. Maybe post a link in a subreddit if you are very very active on the subreddits, whether it be the McFarlane Toys subreddit or Marvel Legends or the Action Figure subreddit or even the Figure Arts subreddit. And then, of course, Twitter, maybe even a little bit of Instagram. Who knows? But that's all I ask for. That is probably the most flexible, uh, easy at cost sort of methods to be able to support the channel, and probably the one I would put the most amount of emphasis on. Now, what you can do at the very most is technically something that you can do on the channel. If you couldn't already tell from some of the ads that have either played on this video or in past reviews that you have checked out, the channel is in fact monetized, of which also includes channel memberships, which are technically are active on the channel, along with also super chats, because I believe you can also super chat on a video, even though the most common way to super chat is on a live stream. I don't really live stream too much right now because, like I said, I'm trying to put as much energy and time as I can into the actual production of the videos. But as far as channel memberships are concerned, that's probably the extra thing. If you want to go a step beyond, you could join the channel or not subscribe, because that's a separate terminology, but join the channel as a channel member, or as I like to call it, executive producers, because in the film industry, executive producers are the producers that put most of the money forward to be able to fund the film or fund the production of the film. And so I kind of adapted that term to people who are members of the channel. And so far, there's definitely two tiers. And both tiers will get you like some emotes that you can use in comments, and some of which will also appear next to your name. But right now, it is more so on the credit side, I will admit. So you have a dollar tier, which is literally just $1 a month. Just $1 a month will get your name appearing in the end credits of my videos. Right now, there's no credits because there are no members. So that's the next step that you can take, is simply just join the channel at the $1 tier. It's just $1, 100 cents. I mean, and as tired as a analogy as it is, I'm going to use it. How much do you pay for a Starbucks coffee per week? This is just a fifth of that, maybe even a sixth of that. And that's just for one cup of coffee. So for $1 spread out across 1 month, you get your name in the end credits. Whenever I end a video and you have that final screen that has like a joke with the figures or a post with the figures, but you notice that one of the sides of the screen is kind of dimmed out, usually that's where my credits go. And I used to have a channel member, but I think his membership or whatever ended. But anyways, the point is that whenever you join at the $1 tier, your name's going to appear on that side during my end screen of all members supporting the channel at the $1 tier. Your name's going to appear in the end credits as an executive producer. At the $2 tier, not only will your name appear in the credits, but you'll also get a shout out from me verbally. So I'll personally shout you out via name. So if you do happen to have content on your channel, people can check out your channel, etc. But you will get a shout out in a verbal stance as an executive producer from me at the $2 tier. I don't believe right now I have a $3 tier, but I guess you could say my incentive to want to create a third tier at the $3 tier would probably be not only including those things, but also getting either 24 to 48 hour early access to my videos. But to do that, I need to set some form of production schedule to make sure that some of these videos can be edited and finally be put up on the channel and listed, so you can get them early. But I need to be able to bucket those videos, which means that I'm probably going to have to take like a week off from publishing so I can just batch record, batch edit, and get that taken care of. So right now, it's on hold, but I do technically have plans to do a third tier. And like I said, that will encompass early access to the videos. That way you get them early, amongst a couple of other perks that I haven't really thought of right now. But that is probably the next step to be able to support the channel, to hopefully go full-time in the future, is the channel memberships. Those are the perks as of right now, subject to change. And the reason for why I have to, kind of point that out is because as for right now, an awful lot of these figures, they come out of my pocket. I don't get early access. I don't have any hookups. Nothing like that. I either try to get to the pre-order date as quickly as possible with McFarlane, like when they first go up at 9 a.m., or if I missed out on something, then I try to find it via hunt through like Walmart, Target, or whenever Hobbylink Japan is going to put up their figure arts, etc. So that is how I approach receiving this content, and to try to create the content and just pay out of my own pocket. And I know what you're saying, like, well, David, stop buying stuff and try to create content of what you already have. But sometimes it's not just that simple, because by the time I get to the stuff that I already have, it's already old news. I have to come up with like an old, like a completely different wrinkle to approach it, or do what I know is going to anger a good amount of you, clickbait. And if I'm going to generate clickbait, it has to be something that is in fact in the video. That's sure, the title of the thumbnail is clickbaity, but it is something, a question or a point being made that's actually in the video, not a bait and switch. And I do not want a bait and switch. It's stupid. I hate it when channels do that. So yeah, that's really where all this got funded from. And like I said, I just would very much like to do this full time, because having this outlet of like talking about Batman and Spider-Man, it's one of the things that's keeping me going. Like without getting too much in the weeds of things, it's this and my girlfriend. And that's really about it for the two things that are keeping me on the tightrope balance and looking forward. Because if I don't look forward, I am gonna look down, and I'm gonna see just how deep that what's the word? Chasm is. Just how deep that chasm is, and that's where the vertigo sets in, and I'm going to fall. So I need to keep looking forward, because I'm going to fall. I've already had my near falls all year this year. Very, very near falls, to where, like I said, it gets dark. It gets quite dark from time to time. And the things that are keeping me going is my girlfriend, her words of wisdom, and then creating this kind of content. And just like I said, looking forward with the balancing pole on the tightrope. Just keep looking forward. What's the next video? Produce it. It bombed. Okay, next video. It's got like 10,000 views in a day. Cool. Now let's go for 20,000. It got 20,000? Cool. Now let's go for 30,000. I don't rebel in like my, like in my own like, oh my God, I'm cool now. This video made its money back, and it kind of made 1.5 times more than what the figure cost. Awesome. It's like, no, how can we replicate this? Oh, cool. Chase the next carrot. Chase the next carrot. I don't know. That's just how I see the sort of thing, while at the same time hearing you guys say this video was very informative, this video was a deep dive, this was cool, I appreciate the angles, I appreciate the close-ups, all that stuff, while at the same time, like I said, taking actual constructive criticism, because otherwise I'm not going to grow. Ever so often, like I said, there'll be someone who's like, bro, why do you do, like, I gotta be honest, the majority of the time when a comment starts with bro, I'm like, why'd I get the feeling this is not going to be constructive? It's not. But I digress. Today is my birthday, and that is all I simply ask. If you can go the extra mile, like I said, the option to join the channel as a member is there, but all I ask at the, like I said, very base level is simply just to continue watching and commenting and engaging, thumbs upping the video or thumbing it down. If you like the channel enough, hit that subscribe button, but most of all, stay humble, because you know that I will. Thank you for watching. I guess another 365 days.